Good evening, Coaching You for You family and friends. Thank you again for joining me this evening. It's a pleasure to be here. We've got a great topic again tonight, and it's something that impacts all of us. It's called life's balance, uh, when to hold on and when to let go, and when to know it's time to do those things. And so let's get with it. Again, I'd like to thank you for joining me here this evening. I am here in my little studio. And I'm quite excited. We're doing some work on it, and hopefully, we'll be adding and taking away and finishing up soon. But thank you for joining us. When to let go and when to hold on. Life is a balancing act, and knowing when to do it, why you're doing it, and when to let go of people, places, and things is what it's all about. It is part of the balance. I want to remind you how important it is to hydrate, moisturize your feet and your hands, and mind your business. In between that, eat fruit. The fruit that grows on trees. And so, tonight I'm sharing my experience, strength, and hope. And the most important thing for me was recognizing and acknowledging when I was in a situation that required I make a decision about holding on or letting go. And sometimes it's tough, to be in those situations. Sometimes we stay in denial because denial is sometimes easier when it's painful. But the sooner, I acknowledge situations existed where I needed to make a choice about holding on or letting go, my life got 100% better. The situation got 100% better. Just learning, regardless of how I felt about it, that the need existed for me to do it. And even if I couldn't change the situation, knowing that it existed and I needed to make some decisions about it and how I was going to deal with it was important. And it was critical for me and, my health. And I had to learn when to fight and what to fight for. You know, Sometimes in situations, we don't always know, you know, how we got to where we got to. That's happened to me a lot. I've ended up in a few situations and I asked myself, oh geez, how in the world did you get here? So when I have to make a decision, I have to know why I need to make a decision. If it's because I'm scared, is it because my instinct has kicked in? Is it because it is absolutely necessary for me to make a decision? Do I need to make a decision? Am I scared? Am I lonely? Do I truly, find that the people, places, or things I'm dealing with are worth my time and energy? Those are the things that help me determine when and how and why I needed to make a decision. Sometimes I held on longer than necessary, because none of us like rejection. I mean, there are a lot of people who think they're completely well in every area of their life. I want to salute you. I'm not one of those people. I grow and I learn every day, and I have to go through things to grow through. But one of the things I've recognized and respect is when I'm in a situation where I need to determine whether I need to let go or hold on, I'm going to have to be consistent in determining that I want to fight for it. So I'm talking about when the need arose in situations for me where I absolutely needed to fight to maintain where I was, who I was with, or what I was doing, people, places, and things. So, in making the decision, to fight for what it is I wanted, I often had to make a decision about what that required. What does it require for me to fight for what I want? What does it mean to fight for what I want? I needed to know what I wanted and if where I was at that time, I was comfortable. So, in making these decisions and making these changes, I had to set goals about where I wanted to be in the situation that I was in, or the people I was dealing with, or the places I was going. I had to make some decisions about where I wanted to be in it and whether it was worth my time, energy, and effort, whether I wanted to fight for it, um, whether I wanted to work on the communication, the commitment, or, the time I was investing in it. And one of the things I learned is I can't always run. I'm a runner. I'll lace up quick and get out of a situation. But I've learned that I can't always run. I have to make decisions about why it might be in my best interest to maintain a connection to a person, place, or thing. That's, knowing what it's all about, and sometimes it can be exhausting. And I had to test the waters. I had to test the waters a lot of times in my situations to determine, and I had to pray. You see my little prayer doohickey over here. It may be covered up a bit, but you see my little prayer sign over there that stays in the studio room because it's important. Prayer is important and it's something that I need to do on a regular basis. And so sometimes I had to test the waters and I had to recognize that I needed to be consistent. You know, um, it's always better when you can share these experiences with people that you trust for feedback and or their experience. And that's why in times of difficulty it's always important to have somebody around you that you can chat with. That doesn't mean tell them all of your business. So in determining whether I need to hold on to a situation or let go, the most important thing for me to do is to be consistent in the decision. If I decide that I'm going to travel to, say, one of my fave places, New York, on a regular basis, then I need to set the agenda to do that, and I need to be consistent with it because this is something that contributes to my well-being and to things that I enjoy doing. And so in setting goals and making commitments, I make plans. And that's what holding on looks like for me. Being consistent, acknowledging that it's there, being consistent, and setting goals for myself about how to deal with the person, place, or thing, or people, place, and thing that I am trying to make decisions about. When it becomes necessary, it's not always necessary, but when it is, learning when to hold on and when to let go is critical for me. And I'm sharing my experience. And so there are times when uh, letting go is absolutely necessary. And we might not always be happy about letting go of people, places, or things. Might not. For example, if you have to move from a bigger place to a smaller place and you need to let go of some of your things to do that comfortably, you need to acknowledge that that needs to happen. So the acknowledgement happens in both the holding on, if it's worth it, if it's in your best interest, or letting go when it's not. And some of the ways I recognized that I needed to let go in some situations was I realized I wasn't being myself. I wasn't being, the whole essence of myself, the whole truth of myself. I wasn't genuinely happy with the things, people, places, or things I was dealing with. I've had to make decisions about all three at some point in my life. And I continuously have to make decisions about those things. Um, I wanted some different things. I wanted to do some different things. I wanted to see some different places and meet different people. And I had to make a decision about letting go of some of the old things to be able to do that. And it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. You know, when you're in a circle with people and you're constantly, questioning things, might be time to take a look at whether you should hold on or let go. If you're in a circle where people are criticizing you all the time, you might need to take a look at that because the people you surround yourself with are important to your well being. Uh, there are times when I realized I was trying too hard. I was working extremely hard on trying to make a decision about letting go or holding on. And it was at that point that I knew I had to do one or the other. And what usually happened was, I came to the conclusion that it was time to let go. And those are some of the areas where, I recognized that it was time to let go. See, acknowledging and recognizing why is important to help you get where you need to be. And so, you know, being relatively happy is important to me. No, I can't be happy all the time, and neither can you. But working towards, being happy and being at peace, because peace, I'm mastering peace. I'm learning how to get back to it whenever I lose it. And I don't care who it's with, whatever people, place, or thing it is, I'm learning still at my age when to hold on and when to let go. Because sometimes I'm a little stubborn. I am. Yeah, I am. And acknowledging it and not being in denial about things just because I want them, or it's more comfortable to just stay there and not make a decision. I'm getting better with that, and so will you. And finally, when learning when to fight and when to leave people, places, and things alone, remember that even faith needs work. Faith without works is useless. Nothing happens. You know, um, I need to examine before I throw everything away. In my younger years, I had a tendency to just throw things away like, mm-mm, nope, I'm not doing that. And as I got older, I practiced more patience and I learned to water a net. And in good partnerships with people, there's watering from both sides. Casey Moore, shout out, spoke about it again today. He gives me great inspiration and great quotes, and watering each other in with family, with friends, in marriages, in partnerships is critical to the success of that partnership. So knowing when to hold on and when to let go. If the ground is always dry on one side, you might need to consider where you are. I know I did. And I didn't have a problem with that. If I want to stay, I say so. If I want to go, I say so. But the most important thing is, owning up to my choices, the choices I make that govern Annette, because that's what I'm responsible for. And that's what I have control over. And so, in learning to do that, I'm consistent. I acknowledge where I am and why I'm there. These are the things that have helped me. These are the things that have brought me incredible peace. When I was in very difficult situations, I shared before, folks would often ask, how do you do it? I'm watering me. I'm taking care of me. I'm providing for me and what works best for me. And if it's a partnership, if it's with a family member, I have to be sure that even in those situations, the watering comes from me and from them as well. It's how I grow. It's how they grow. It's how partnerships grow. So knowing when to hold on and when to let go has been some incredible experiences for me. And I'm still experiencing it. I am. I'm still experiencing it because there are times when there are people I want to keep in my life, and it's not worth the energy and effort. And I recognize that. There are times when I want to continue to do things or have things that don't add any value simply because I'm used to having them. I'm much better at that. I'm not spending tons of money on things that I don't need anymore. And when it comes to clothes and dressing, like these earrings, I have my own style. I don't need to mimic or be a part of anybody else's. And I learned that like 30 years ago because I'm only 45. So 30 years ago. No, I'm actually, a little bit more seasoned, but I learned that a long time ago. My style is my own. I don't dress for you. I dress for me. And if I'm in a relationship and he likes it, I don't care what you like. I really don't. And so, being who I am, the whole essence of me is being truthful and acknowledging who I am when I need to hold on, when it feels good, when it adds value, when I can be consistent in it, when it matters to me, when it's worth the fight, have been some tremendous lessons for me. And it is my lessons that have mentored me. I have a coach and have had for 30 some odd years. But my lessons, my life lessons have mentored me and helped me grow and glow and sometimes cry through the experiences because we're made up of our experiences. And knowing when to let go when it doesn't serve me, when it's not working to my best interest, when I'm uncomfortable, when I'm in doubt, when I'm questioning, when I'm overly spotlighted, learning when to let go is equally as important as learning when to hold on. It's called life's balance. And these things that I've shared with you tonight, again, is not the be all and end all. It's just simply my experience and what I've recognized and what has worked for me. And that's what I'm here to share, my experience and my hope. And I know that there are times when I've been in situations where I absolutely did not think that I was going to make it. I didn't think I was going to pull through. I didn't think that there was any real hope for me. But I'm here to tell you, excuse me, without a doubt, there's never a situation that as long as you're breathing that you're not going to get through. Just believe that and believe in yourself. So we're going to be back next week. We're going to be talking a little bit about self-esteem and confidence and how we gain a little bit more of that. My name is Annette. I am your host here at Coaching You For You. Again, thank you for joining me. Thank you for being in the studio with me tonight. And I hope I'll see you soon. Good night.